Ruchi Jain, technical analyst at Angel Broking, joining in to get us some perspective as far as charts are concerned, and we'll also get Natasha Shankar's perspective in a couple of minutes from now. But Ruchit, let's talk about the way the setup is really panning out. Yesterday was a decent gain. Do you see the index actually crossing that 79.30, 79.50 range? Because it seems to be somewhat of a resistance band for the index.
Yeah, good morning. Well, overall, we have seen that this low top, low bottom formation on the weekly charts is still there, and this is just a corrective up move of this entire low top, low bottom formation which we are seeing. Now, what index has done in last 8-10 trading sessions, it has remained sideways and has not given any directional momentum. There are actually two types of corrective action. One is price correction and one is time correction. So similarly, when the trend is down, there is the price correction has to be a sharp upside momentum, but this time the prices have not chosen to move up sharply, rather that they have remained sideways. So this suggests that there will not be significant upside from current levels. The upside, I think, if you see the entire last move from 8300 to 7700, 38.2% retracement of that upside of this down move is coming around 7950. So I think from current levels, index would first move towards the 7950 mark, and it would resist over there and again resume its downward corrective move. So we are not anticipating a significant up move from current levels. Yes, for if any intraday traders or those who are trading for 1 or 2 days can see this momentum getting extended up to 7950. But from those levels, again, I think some selling pressure would come. So overall, it remains a sell on rise market, and going ahead, we are not that optimistic on the market from a short-term perspective.
Okay, fair enough. Ruchit, how about specific stocks or sectors then? Because, for instance, in the November series, we saw quite a nice up move coming in some of those auto majors. Anything from the pack that you're bullish on specifically?
I think in this series, defensives could do well. If you just observe from the large cap stocks of defensive sector, then HUL, ITC, those stocks good looks good at current levels. HUL has been forming a base, even ITC is forming higher top, higher bottom. Apart from, if I take some mid-cap names, then Dabur, Marico, these stocks are looking good from FMCG. So basically this FMCG sector, which generally acts as defensive, I think these would continue to do well in this series. Whereas on the other hand, banking sector may again play a spoil spot over here. We have seen this low top, low bottom formation continuing in this, and since last few sessions, it has these stocks, banking names have been consolidating. If I see large cap banking names, especially private sector, which constitutes more of a bank nifty constituents, so these names are not showing any significant upside from current levels. Take it ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, Yes Bank. So probably I think these stocks, these names may correct going ahead. Even in PSU space, we are not expecting any significant upside from current levels in near term. So I think Bank Nifty could lead the index the next leg of downside, which would be there. And on the other hand, the defensives could do well at least in first half of this series.
That's a fair point, Ruchit, because even if you look at the way the November series really is played out, you got basically no moves or no cues coming in as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. Just put up the 1 month chart for you as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, just to put things into perspective here and how that's panning out. Take a look at that, 4.3% lower. And this, remember, you had a couple of the earnings coming out as far as the banking counters are concerned in this month itself, which again seem to have hurt sentiment to a certain extent. And that's the way they've performed as well as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, down by nearly 1%. Ruchit, the point here is, if you're not seeing any kind of a recovery as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned in the December series, the point here is, will other stocks which we've seen in the last couple of days, which have actually tried to hold the index or support the index, for example, what's happening with Reliance Industries, some of these heavyweights, do you believe they'll be able to counter the downward pressure that would come in from the banking pack?
Yeah, these stocks which are holding the index in last couple of days, and in fact, if I just observe this, if you just see this top 10 holdings from Nifty, which which makes about 53% of this index. So I think there are only a couple of stocks which may continue to do well. One of them would be Reliance, and other one is ITC. But apart from that, if you see other names, take it SDFC Limited, SDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, TCS, Larsen and Toubro. So most, even if you take only top 10 stocks of Nifty constituent, then they are continuously going down, and still they are not showing any signs of reversal or any significant pullback from current levels. So I think although Reliance, stocks such as Reliance, ITC would hold up, they would just manage such that Nifty would not fall significantly or will not fall sharply from current levels. So the down move would be very gradual and slow. We may not get an no sharp downside momentum from current levels. But obviously these stocks, if you just take top 10 stocks, in only couple of them are looking good, and this won't let the index to move much higher from current levels.
All right. So that's RIL then for you. But you know, some of these other commodity plays, all of them, in fact, while we saw near term, just in the recent rebound, most of them for the series at least, still looking particularly beaten down. But, you know, whether it be a Ken, whether it be some of the metal names, Vedanta, Hindalco. What's your strategy on some of these names going ahead as well, Ruchit?
But if you see these metals names, then they have been in a severe downtrend, continuously low top, low bottom formation, and in fact, if we just observe this sector, then in last 1 year, metal sector has given the worst returns. So probably before doing any kind of bottom fishing over here, it is preferred to let some positive developments happen on the weekly charts or monthly charts rather than just looking at what has happened in last 4-5 days or last 10 days. So probably let some time go wherein the stocks would consolidate over in a broad range and some sort of accumulation would be seen over there. Right now we are not seeing any such developments happening over there. Just with the markets remaining sideways, these stocks have also these stocks have also remained sideways in last few sessions. But they have not shown any significant signs of reversal from current levels. So I would rather wait for some sort of developments or positive developments happening on the long-term charts of the stock rather than doing any kind of bottom fishing by looking just short-term, near-term, last 3-4 days movement.
Yeah, Ruchit, in terms of the way the auto pack's been panning out as well, we've been seeing some bit of, yesterday Tata Motors got a little active, probably some bit of expiry volatility at play as well. But having said that, you've seen this counter underperform from a YTD point of view. The last 3 months probably have been fabulous as far as Tata Motors is concerned. Do you believe this one has a potential to recover? Because at one point it was down nearly 50% on a YTD basis. Now it's down just 14 to 15%. Is there some more rally left? Do you believe this one can rebound even more from the current level?
I think this pullback move which we have seen from the lower levels of 280 probably would face resistance around 440. So the stock could move upwards towards 440, but we are not expecting significant upside from there. Those who have already bought at lower levels, for them they are getting good returns. But if anyone is looking to buy fresh over here from trading perspective, then upside would be limited over here. Already a significant gains are behind us now in this stock. On the higher side, the entire corrective move which we saw from 620 to about 280 odd levels, 50% retracement level of that correction would come around 440. So those who have already bought at lower levels, there is much likely that a good amount of profit booking could be there around 440. So probably I won't buy this stock over here, but on rallies around 440, I would advise those who have bought at lower levels for them to book profits over there.
All right, fair enough. Let's take a look at some of those mid-caps as well that you were talking about, Ruchit. I just want to expand that a little bit and talk about some of the areas in the mid-caps that were fairly active. And we saw a lot of buzz when it came to aviation, when it came to sugar stocks, for example. I know you were talking about, names like an Arvind, but just take us to some of the other potential pockets that are looking good as we head into a fresh series.
Yeah, so mid-cap names, you have seen that in last few days they have been outperforming the entire the large-cap names. So that's what happens when generally markets go sideways. The mid-cap names tend to outperform all the large-cap names. So that's what we are expecting till the market gives any directional movement from current levels, either it be upside or downside. I think these names would continue to do well. Even if you see the overall market breadth, then it has been positive in last few trading sessions, and that is mainly because of only the mid-cap names. Large caps have not added significantly to the market breadth or to the momentum in last few days. So I think going ahead till markets are still sideways and till this range bound activity is not broken out, the mid cap names would continue to do well. If we talk about sector specific, then as you told, some of the aviation stocks such as Jet Airways and all, they have forming this high top, high bottom formation, and they will continue to do well going ahead. Apart from that, we have recommended buying even in textile sectors, Century Textiles, Arvind Mills, these continue to look good. Arvind has started forming this high top, high bottom formation again after a consolidation phase. And now, if you observe last 1 month's pattern, then it had given a breakout of ascending triangle pattern. So I think, so going ahead, after this breakout from a triangle pattern, I think this uptrend would continue in the stock, and that's why we are recommending short-term traders to buy this. We are having a target of 320 in about next in the first half of this series, and one can place a long bet on this with a stop loss placed below 294.
Now, the other news makers that we've been tracking has been the pharma counters as well. DRL, Sun Pharma, both in focus yesterday. Ruchit, what kind of levels are you watching out for when we talk about these names?
Dr. Reddy, I think this correction would continue still going ahead. I have not seen any sort of reversal formation in this. On the lower side, 3,000 to 3,050 is the support range. But if we just observe Sun Pharma stock, then I think this stock is approaching now its support zone. So going ahead, there could be a good pair trade over here, wherein Sun Pharma would give a bit pullback rally, and Dr. Reddy would continue to move down. So if anyone is looking to do any trade in this sector, rather it would be buying in. One can go long in Sun Pharma and go short in Dr. Reddy's, wherein one can expect outperformance in Sun Pharma. If you individually observe charts of Sun Pharma, then I think downside could be limited from current levels. Although in recent past we have not done much bullish in this stock, but there is a harmonic reversal pattern being formed in the stock around 685. So I don't see the stock going much lower from current levels. If any correction comes around 685, it would be a good opportunity now for the long-term investors and even short-term traders to go long in this stock. So probably one can form a bullish view on Sun Pharma and a bearish view, a continuation of the bearish view in Dr. Reddy's.
All right, let's also welcome Natasha Shankar from Yes Securities, who's joining us right here in our studios. Natasha, we've been in conversation with Ruchit trying to understand as far as a couple of these stocks are concerned and the way the outlook's really panning out in regard to the market. We're going to kickstart the December series today. What's your reading when we talk about near-term trends for the market? Are you still looking optimistic, or you believe markets will now start facing some bit of resistance around these zones?
I think a major event that all investors need to keep in mind is the possibility of a rate hike in the US, which would put some pressure on all emerging markets, and India would not be an exception to it. And there is a lot of uncertainty surrounding that event, although the probability of them increasing in interest rate has gone up significantly in recent weeks. So if that event actually takes place, there would be an outflow of capital from all markets, and it would hurt our markets as well. But if we look at the longer term picture, there are things which are happening which are all positive. There have been small steps taken towards reforms, and one cannot really ignore these small steps just waiting around for the big bang reforms to happen. In addition to that, the interest rates are coming down. The commodity cycle is where it is, with the commodity prices being where they are. There is an improvement in consumer sentiment, which we've already seen during the festive season this year. So all in all, there is a lot of positive things happening, but all of them will take some time to happen. So the long-term outlook is certainly positive, but the near-term is a little dicey.
Okay, so how would you strategize in light of that, Natasha? Would you be buying, beating down stocks for the longer term, or would you be waiting for every opportunity on dips?
So whenever the markets fall, there are two ways to look at it. One is to panic and sell. The other way to look at it is as an opportunity. So we fall in the latter bucket. We look at it as an opportunity to pick up good stocks, because the valuations become extremely compelling, especially for fundamentally good stocks. Now, as far as the larger cap stocks are concerned, they are always the slow and steady movers. It's always good to have them. But the way the corrections take place and whenever these dips happen, the mid caps also become extremely attractive on valuation. So that would be our suggestion, to use these dips in order to accumulate these stocks for the longer term.
we've been talking about a couple of the newsmakers this morning, but before I get into that, I want to just get a comment from you on the healthcare and the pharma pack. Yesterday, DRL again facing that US FDA, rather the letter details being made public is what we saw, and the tone of it was quite concerning. Stock took a knock of almost 9% on closing. On the other hand, Sun Pharma is the other pharma major that's been in focus as well. You got some bit of news flow coming in on Lupin. The point is, how are you positioned when we talk about the pharma sector right now?
The pharma sector, pharma stocks are always good to have in the portfolio, but the story has become very, very stock specific with the way the US FDA comes down. It's not all negative because there is a certain amount of improvements that the company needs to make before getting back into business as far as those particular plants are concerned. But in the near term, there is a hit that they have to take. We've already seen that happening in the past with Wockhardt. We saw that happening in the past with Sun Pharma as well when they got a US FDA caution letter. So these things tend to happen. Best thing to do is to wait for more clarity to come in, wait for the business to take that knock, and look at what is going to be driving their longer term outlook. So for in case of Sun Pharma, they have the specialty business. They've finally shelved the plan as far as the wind farm business is concerned. So all in all, it's a good stock. With the way it has been beaten down, the valuations have become very compelling for the long term. So one can look at it. DRL would be best avoided right now till there is more clarity as to how all the US FDA warnings would pan out.
Okay. So let's talk about some of those auto names in particular. You mentioned that festive season we've seen a bit of a rebound, and we had a fairly good performance across the board on the auto stocks. What's in particular looking good to you? Which one of them would you pick?
So I think it would be very difficult to ignore Maruti Suzuki, given the way the passenger car sales have happened and they're expected to have happened during this festive season. So it would be unfair to ignore that. In addition to this, looking at the MHCV segment and the way the numbers have panned out, plus the new orders that the company is getting, we're also very optimistic on Ashok Leyland from that perspective. So on the auto pack, if one needs to do a stock picking thing, then probably Maruti Suzuki and Ashok Leyland looks really good.
All right, let's talk about some of the newsmakers that we're tracking today. SKS Microfinance is going to be in focus. Another update coming in that they've actually cut their interest rate to 19.75% is the other update that we're just tracking right now in regard to SKS Microfinance right now. And remember, RBI has raised the borrower limit for short durations MFI loans as well. Yesterday is the other bit that we were tracking as far as the SKS Microfinance was concerned. So clearly this stock is going to be in focus. Just pull up, there you go. SKS has cut the interest rate to 19.75%. Any thoughts on this, Natasha? The whole microfinance sector?
So I think the entire microfinance sector has done slightly better than what the other NBFCs have done in recent times. There has been a lot of demand for loans, especially for them. Okay. And with the interest way SKS Microfinance has brought down its interest, the credit growth for the company is expected to go up even further. Of course, this needs to be factored into our model before we can give you an exact picture as to what the target price would be, but we would be optimistic on the stock as such.
Okay, telecom, lots of news. Yesterday, of course, Idea was in the news as well. Further possible, consolidation that we're going to see in this space. We have got news this morning as well on Videocon. So, keeping in mind some of that, I just want to get a sense from you on, what really you're focusing on when it comes to this sector. Telenor now possibly looking at snapping up Videocon's 4G. We have seen a little bit more pressure on some of these stocks, but at the same time, some of these synergies likely to play out.
So I think as far as the telecom space is concerned, the next growth driver for them would certainly be data. We've already seen volumes grow over 50% even on a YOY basis. It's like a quarterly run rate which most of the companies have been able to maintain. And yes, realizations have come under pressure given the competition is there, and there's the possibility of Reliance Jio coming in and playing a price war. But all in all, the top three, the incumbents which are there, that's Bharti, Idea as well as Vodafone, they should be able to see incremental revenue market share coming in simply because of their formidable position of being able to take a rate cut whenever necessary. And Idea are consolidating their entire 4G spectrum and going ahead and acquiring more 4G spectrum. The kind of data growth that they can deliver is going to be multifold. The only thing that one needs to watch out for is the execution and whether they're able to deploy the networks in a timely manner and in a quick manner. But other than that, telecom is a good space to be in.
Okay, let me get Ruchit's perspective on that as well as far as what we are tracking in the last couple of minutes. Quite a few of the newsmakers, Ruchit. I want to quickly run you through some of the names. We've been talking about SKS Microfinance, not too sure if you got that one on the watch list, and some of the telecom names that Natasha was talking about as well. You've got Idea, Bharti, Arcom's been active in the last couple of days. So any thoughts on these 3-4 counters, Ruchit?
I have not been tracking this SKS Micro very closely, but if I just see the long-term charts, then I think the downside could be very limited in this. I'm not expecting any significant downside from current level, so any 8 to 7-8% correction from here could be a buying opportunity in this. And apart from that, specifically in telecom names, I think one needs to be very stock specific in this. The two stocks which we like from this space is Bharti Airtel and Arcom. Probably in Bharti we have seen that the stock has taken good support around 320 twice, which suggests that there is a double bottom pattern on charts over here. So probably there could be good upside from in Bharti over here. Won't recommend going in other names such as Idea and Tata Communication, where there is no any significant volumes coming in on any sort of buying volumes coming in. Arcom, if we specifically speak among these names, then the stock I think has made a bottom around this recent low of 48 or 50, and we have seen that good impulsive move came from this 50 levels to 84 levels. Now after that impulsive up move, the stock has corrected and retraced exactly 50% of that up move, and has again started going up. And this up move has been supported by very good volumes. Even if you see last couple of days, then the volumes are very good in this stock. So now on every up move, the volumes are coming in, which suggests that for long term or for medium term, this stock could now again start an uptrend from current levels. 84, 85 would act as a significant resistance going ahead, but I think if anyone has a 6 months or more horizon, then I think the stock would surpass this level and give significant higher returns in this space going ahead. So I won't form a bullish view on the entire sector, entire telecom sector over here, but only a couple of stocks on Bharti and Arcom, one can look to take a bullish bet.
All right, hold that thought, Ruchit and Natasha as well. We'll discuss more stocks and some top strategies as well, but after this short break. Stay tuned.